Welcome to a quick market update. We're going to track our investment portfolio that we had created December of 2023. So we are now on the 13th month of the $10,000 portfolio and our $1,000 portfolio. But before we dive into those, we saw the NASDAQ on Monday, January 27th. It started going down a little bit, as well as the Dow, because there was this little slight fear that Deepseek AI, which is kind of like a spin-off of ChatGPT, they're actually leveraging the same technology, but they built this whole model for less than $6 million and got it up and running in just a matter of months and not years. So that's what caused a little bit of stir in the market. Investors were like, well, I don't know if AI is going to be as lucrative if it's so easy for anybody to just create a different version of it. I'm going to ask it, what's the closing price of NASDAQ today? See how fast it responds and kind of get me that information. So I have search, as you can see, selected and Deepseek selected. So it can try to generate the results from the web, and it's not just looking at local data. So you can actually disable search and just use like Deepseek. Supposedly this doesn't send your data back and forth like that, but who knows? They could say anything. So it says it closed on January 28th at 19733.59. It gave me a lot of information, and let's check if that's true. Yes, it is accurate. Now let's take a look at ChatGPT. All right, it's thinking. It's thinking. Let it think. All right. I love the fact that it kind of gave it to me all up front right here. It was a lot less information. The rest of the market, the Dow in terms of year to date, we are in the first month. It's up 5% from beginning of January till now, which is not bad. NASDAQ year to date is up only 2%. So it's slightly being rebalanced up and down, up and down. And then you got the S&P 500. Year to date, it's only up 3%. It's just been pretty much stabilized. There's been up movement, down movement, but it's been relatively flat. Some of our dividend stocks, PBR, I'm waiting to get back to like 20 bucks, and I might sell the shares I have inside of the retirement account because that's where I purchase it. Their dividends right now is at, wow, 20%, meaning on a yearly basis you would earn 20% on the money that you have allotted to the stock, which is not bad, not bad at all. Lumen, I think, hit at one point like $9. Yeah, like last year hit, or actually hit $10, which is crazy. So if you bought it around $1 and change here, you really capitalize on it. But let's look at our retirement around the crypto side. I call it retirement, but it's really all grayscale stocks. They've been doing a pretty decent job. I actually entered in with heavy amount of investments in terms of grayscale Bitcoin Cash Trust and also Litecoin Cash Trust, just to see where things can be headed, because I do think there's huge potential for them to really increase right now. Crypto to me is like at a low point, stabilized, even though Bitcoin is like really high. Not high from where it's going, but high in the sense of where it was at probably like a year ago. I do think there's a lot of possibility for crypto to shoot even further and higher, and it's going to really amplify. So I'm banking on these right now just to see how things might maneuver. So our $1,000 portfolio, we are still in the negative compared to last month. So we are down $275, which is about close to 30%. The only thing we have green is VRAR, Xpeng, and Jumia. Our crypto-based stocks, which is ETCG, Ethereum, Grayscale, Litecoin Trust, which is Litecoin, and then Bitcoin Cash Trust. We're down 30, 40, 50% in some areas, but it's all right. We have this for the long term. We're kind of awaiting to see where things go. We're not sitting here and panicking because of the fact that long-term investments is always what rules. Possibility of these, of course, the top three here are all crypto-based, so if crypto markets goes up, these will go up automatically. VRAR is a future stock, but they flipped a lot of times over the past month, and this is where you want to be very patient with this whole process, because if you're not, then you're going to miss out on big opportunities. Like I'll show you here where it went all the way to like $7 out of nowhere because of this anticipation that they're going to capitalize on some market that's going to really help them take off. They're in the virtual reality space, so augmented reality. You don't want to just panic sell and just be patient. If you believe in something, hold it for the long run as long as you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, of course, get rid of it. This is not financial advice. It's much more for you to take your own preferences, put your own heart into it. Not your feelings, not your emotions, but your own heart and understanding to make the better decision for yourself. Rivian, we're down almost half. Xpeng, we're up a little bit. Jumia, up a little bit. And Nikola, No hopes there. And then Lab, we're down about 30%. A lot of things are just battered and bruised right now. Our $10,000 portfolio is doing better. We are up 7%. It's not as high as the 40% that we had reached about last month, close to the end of last year. But let's see. ITYX is an aggregated fund for technologies. It's by Invesco. And ARGFX is an Ariel Mutual Funds, and we are up about 10%. Grayscale Large Capital Cap Fund, I think that is due to Bitcoin, why it reached at this point. So it's up $656, which is almost 10%. And then we're down Litecoin Trust, Bitcoin Cash Trust, and then Grayscale Bitcoin, we are up about 5%. GoTo, I seen had some traction, but they retracted a bit. We don't know what's going to happen there. TAL as well, it shot up one day because of news that it's integrating AI in terms of one of its potential technologies, which creates possibilities, right? If you're integrating AI with some learning capabilities, you can automate certain things, reduce costs, as well as increase profitability. And that's what made it jump at one point in time further than GoTo. If GoTo does the same thing, I think their stock is going to shoot up. Then you got Xpeng, which is up. Stir, it's more like an stock. I'm not really thinking. I just bought it just to buy it, but we're down quite a bit in there. And then Law, they always had this AI technology inside of their legal system. So what they do is provide this to lawyers, attorneys, law firms to leverage this technology to read through documents quicker, which, if you think about it, there's other AI tools that are going to be in that space. And the fact that we had ChatGPT and all these open sources, then you got agents coming along, it could really disrupt their market as well to not give them that leverage to capitalize. But you never know. It's about competition right now. I think we have these tools available to us at our resources at a cheaper cost. So it's the creativity that's really going to kick in. For those of us that really fear our jobs, where we're going to head to, I think the creativity at this point in time is what's going to shine. The more you can be creative, think about imagining things to bring efficiency, to bring profits, to bring productivity, the better you're going to have in succeeding in terms of the competition. Because the tools and stuff, anything that can be manually done, anything that is like a system, that is a format to it, there's a formula to it, that is going to be replaceable. I don't think that's going to make anything unique in that sense. But if you are creative and have that drive, you're definitely going to shine. Rivian, I'm holding on by faith. Beyond Meat as well. And then Paycom, they're up quite a bit from where we had them. Small business support, they provide all these solutions for different businesses in terms of payment, HR. I don't think they're going anywhere at all. And then Matic, we're down crypto side. Litecoin, surprisingly, we're up a bit. Ethereum Classic, we're up a bit. And then Doge, we're up a bit. We are still green in our $10,000 portfolio. I think there's still huge opportunities coming along. Just be patient. Do not rush decisions. Do not panic. If you see things go down, you have already invested in the money. Don't try to sell it, pull it out, and think you're going to get it at a lower price. Instead, if you have extra cash, you see it drop a whole lot, and you still believe in it, then yes, you get rid of it. But I do think you got to wait for the market to stabilize, especially if it's in a sector. Like for the car industry, for example, if you see the EV space has stabilized and the stock that you bought is still further down compared to everybody else, then that's a call. That's definitely a tough call to make. However, if you see that it is way up and you made so much profit, you could sell. I think the best time to sell, me personally, is when you have another investment to allocate that money to. But if you're not going to do anything to it, you're going to convert it to cash. I don't feel it's a good bet unless you're putting into like a bond, a high yield savings account for safety or whatever, like Warren Buffett did. He actually sold a lot of his Apple stocks and some other holdings that he had, left it in bonds, government bonds, to earn like 4 to 5% on it for time being until the prices of certain stocks go down. I do think certain stocks are overvalued right now. Nvidia, for example, Apple, even Microsoft. I think a lot of big companies' stocks are overvalued because you can feel it. Like people's spending habits, where their money is at, I can tell because of where the rental market is. A lot of people that inquired, they just don't have it right now. What the news is telling you, the economy is all good, all great, it's strong, the job report is all that. What I'm actually seeing on the ground is not quite the same. Things are now stabilizing. It was a lot worse like a few months ago. It was really bad. Like people's savings were depleted. They had nothing, maybe 1 month's worth of rent, but no security deposit when they were actually looking for a place. And that's what makes it realistic in terms of where people's financials are. And that's why we got to be careful, not just go with what the news is telling you. Do your own research. Look at these different assets and to see if it's overvalued for you, then be patient. I wouldn't say be completely out. Warren Buffett is not completely out. He's at least 80% in. He don't just liquidate everything that he has because he knows he can't perfectly time the market. Something can go wrong where the things drop. Well, he had some cash reserves. He's going to buy them at a discount. Something goes right, everything shoots up. Well, his 80% is just going to keep going up. It's a win-win situation when you diversify like that. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Always have diversification, always have some reserve, because you just never know what might actually come. So I hope you found all this insightful. Stay persistent, stay motivated, stay focused. Don't get discouraged. Peace and love. Trust in Jesus. Have an amazing one. Hustle, hustle, hustle.